We've got a lot to cover today, so grab a pen, a piece of paper, and get ready to absorb all of this information because it's Dani Fish, and it's been a while. I had put up a poll on my Instagram story a couple of days ago to see how many of you knew what Banoffee Pie was. Just take a moment, reflect, think to yourself. I thought I did, and I thought that Banoffee stood for Banana Coffee Pie. Wrong. Banoffee actually stands for Banana Toffee Pie. The reason I was thinking about this is because I knew I had a lot of coffee beans in my cabinet and I had some dying bananas at home, so I figured let's combine the two and make it into really good ice cream. Then I thought of Banoffee Pie, and this could be a Banoffee Pie ice cream. Again, wrong. Now, knowing that Banoffee Pie is banana toffee, that just adds in a whole other wonderful flavor to all of this. So today we are making a coffee Banoffee ice cream. Couple of things to know. We're gonna need some coffee beans to make a traditional coffee ice cream base, and then I'm going to kind of cook some bananas in a caramelly sauce to get that Banoffee flavor in there, and then we're gonna turn everybody together. But two things. We need to make sure that our bananas are as ripe as possible. You hear this with every recipe that you will ever use bananas with. You need the ripest bananas. Why? And how ripe? When I say dead, I mean dead. Like this part doesn't look that dead. This part looks real dead. Corpse. I want you to be considering throwing them away and then decide, maybe I'll make a dessert instead. Why? They need to be this ripe because as something ripens, the natural starches in them turn to sugars, which is why it's sweeter and it's softer. Similar to when you cook pasta and you're cooking out the starches in pasta, that pasta noodle is going to soften. Same with these. You'll notice that an unripe banana is a little bit more firm than a ripe banana. Should I be talking about the firmness of bananas? Probably not. So you want to make sure that your bananas are as near death so that they have as much starch turned to sugar so your bananas are sweet and soft. Number 2, coffee beans. The important piece to know is that you can buy coffee beans in bulk, but coffee beans do go bad. Similar to nuts, they do have a lot of natural oils in them. So after a couple of months, roughly about 9, you could get rancid coffee beans. To help, airtight container. Will this save the day forever? No. We'll add a couple of extra months to your coffee beans, and that can at least extend it to at least about a year or so. Check to see if they're still alive if you haven't used them in a really long time. Gonna have to clean that up. You should get hit in the face with a coffee flavor when you open an entire box of coffee beans. If you don't, you will start to smell something that smells a little bit more stale, a little less pungent, and maybe a little bit of like mildew. They won't look any different, but they'll smell different, and that's what you're looking for. So now that we've gone over all the science for the little bitty pieces that we're going to be using in this, let's make some coffee Banoffee ice cream.
Like most of our ice cream recipes, we start by adding our whole milk, our heavy cream, and our sugar into a medium saucepan and putting it on the stove until it gets nice and scalding hot and all that sugar is melted. Since we're making coffee ice cream, we're going to take whole bean dark roast coffee and we're going to put that directly into our hot milk mixture. I like to swirl it a little bit just so that all the beans are submerged, but you don't want to mix it too much so that it loses heat. Then we're going to cover it for about a half an hour and leave it off heat. Next, we're going to take a small saucepan and I'm adding some brown sugar, some regular sugar, a little heavy cream, and some vanilla bean paste. Then I'm going to take my very ripe bananas and throw all of that on the stove and give it a good mix until it starts bubbling. It takes about 10 minutes or so. From here, I'm taking it off the heat and I'm adding about 1.5 teaspoons of cornstarch. This is going to really help in the cooling process to thicken everything up to the consistency we need to add it into our ice cream base. Look at that. Looking good, but it's gonna get thicker. From there, I'm gonna transfer it to a colder bowl and we're gonna stick this into the fridge. If you used to watch my earlier videos, you'll know that separating eggs is my least favorite process in any baking extravaganza, but unfortunately the fastest way to do it is just using your good old paws to do so. So I'm going to use 4 egg yolks and then wash my hands because gross. And then we're going to whisk those bad boys up and throw them to the side. Next, I'm taking a larger bowl, adding the rest of our heavy cream and putting a mesh strainer on top and throwing that to the side. Our steeped coffee bean mixture should be ready to go, but we're just gonna reheat that up real quick so that we can temper that into our egg yolks with a nice hot liquid and put those egg yolks right back on. We're gonna cook that on the stove for just a little bit, and then we're gonna strain that into our prepped cream strainer. Give it a good squeeze so you get all that coffee flavor out, a little mix, and then into the fridge to cool until completely cool so that we can churn it. With a couple extra minutes still remaining on your churn, you're gonna wanna take that banana mixture out. See how nice and thick it gets with that addition of the cornstarch? That's absolutely perfect. And we're gonna slowly add in the entire bowl full of the banana mixture into our churning ice cream.
Okay. I knew this was gonna be perfect. Coffee ice cream in general is a favorite of mine, so this couldn't really be bad. And it's an amazing flavor combination with banana. Now you add the caramel toffee piece to it. Fantastic. Little cup of magic is so good. I'll tell you what though, what this is missing is like a crunch of some sort. If I had to add something in here, it would likely be like a toasted pecan, maybe a toasted walnut. Definitely missing a little crunchy component, but you do get some really good texture with the mushed up bananas. Or even like some Heath Bar toffee pieces or something like that, right? That would be on theme. I'm a lady. Thank you so much for watching this video. If you liked it, feel free to like it, subscribe, share with your friends, and stay tuned for all that's more. If you're not following me on Instagram already, or if you're watching this on Instagram, make sure you are following me there. It's at The Ice Cream Queen, and you can also find most of my recipes on my blog, theicecreamqueen.com. You have a great day. Till next time. When I make ice cream recipes like this, you guys need to understand that I'm eating sugar for like hours on end. My whole head is just buzzing. I need water. That's really what I need.